And now, on Esoteric Cliffnotes, we have The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. Forward. Our prosperity as a nation depends upon the personal financial prosperity of each of us as individuals. Success means accomplishments as the result of our own efforts and abilities. The man who desired gold. A man's wealth is not in the purse he carries. A fat purse quickly empties if there is no golden stream to refill it. Arcad had an income that constantly keeps his purse full, no matter how liberally he spends. It costs nothing to ask wise advice from a good friend. The Richest Man in Babylon. Too often does youth think that age knows only the wisdom of days that are gone, and therefore profits not. But remember this, the sun that shines today is the sun that shone when thy father was born, and will still be shining when thy last grandchild shall pass into the darkness. I found the road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. It should be no less than a tenth, no matter how little you earn. Pay yourself first. Opportunity is a haughty goddess who wastes no time with those who are unprepared. A part of all I earn is mine to keep. Say it in the morning when you first arise. Say it at noon. Say it at night. Say it each hour of every day. Say it to yourself until the words stand out like letters of fire across the sky. The 7 cures for a lean purse. And there's an example for each, but I'll just read each of them one by one. The first cure, start thy purse to fattening. For every 10 coins thou placest within thy purse, take out for use but 9. Thy purse will start to fatten at once, and its increasing weight will feel good in thy hand and bring satisfaction to thy soul. The second cure, control thy expenses or expenditures. Budget thy expenses that thou mayest have coins to pay for thy necessities, to pay for thy enjoyments, and to gratify thy worthwhile desires without spending more than 9/10 of thy earnings. The third cure, make thy gold multiply. Put each coin to laboring that it may reproduce its kind, even as the flocks of the field, and help bring to thee income, a stream of wealth that shall flow constantly into thy purse. The fourth cure, guard thy treasures from loss. Guard thy treasure from loss by investing only where thy principal is safe, where it may be reclaimed if desirable, and where thou wilt not fail to collect a fair rental. Consult with wise men. Secure the advice of those experienced in the profitable handling of gold. Let their wisdom protect thy treasure from unsafe investment. The fifth cure, make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. I recommend that every man own the roof that sheltereth him and his. The sixth cure, ensure a future income. A man may buy houses or lands for this purpose. If wisely chosen as to their usefulness and value in the future, they are permanent in their value and their earnings, or their sale will provide well for his purpose. The seventh cure, increase thy ability to earn. He must pay his debts with all the promptness within his power, not purchasing that for which he is unable to pay. He must take care of his family, that they may think and speak well of him. He must make a will of record, that in case the gods call him, proper and honorable division of his property be accomplished. Thus, the seventh and last remedy for a lean purse is to cultivate thy own powers, to study and become wiser, to become more skillful, to so act as to respect thyself. Meet the goddess of good luck. To attract good luck to oneself, it is necessary to take advantage of opportunities. Men of action are favored by the goddess of good luck. The 5 laws of gold. Gold is reserved for those who know its laws and abide by them. The 5 laws of gold. 1. Gold cometh gladly and in increasing quantity to any man who will put by not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future and that of his family. 2. Gold laboreth diligently and contently for the wise owner who finds it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of the field. 3. Gold clingeth to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling. 4. Gold slippeth away from the man who invests in it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar, or which are not approved by those skilled in its keep. 5. Gold flees the man who would force it into impossible earnings, or who followeth the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trusts it to his own inexperience and romantic desires in investment. And the strength of thy own desires is a magic power. Guide this power with thy knowledge of the 5 laws of gold, and thou shalt share the treasures of Babylon. The gold lender of Babylon. Gold bringeth unto its possessor responsibility and a changed position with his fellow men. It bringeth fear lest he lose it, or it be tricked away from him. It bringeth a feeling of power and ability to do good. Likewise, it bringeth opportunities whereby his very good intentions may bring him into difficulties. If thou desire to keep thy friend, do so in a way that will not bring thy friend's burden unto thyself. The safest loans, my token box tells me, are to those whose possessions are of more value than the loan they desire. Humans in the throes of great emotions are not safe risks for the gold lender. Help must be given wisely, lest, like the farmer's ass, in our desire to help, we but take upon ourselves the burden that belongs to another. Seek to associate thyself with men and enterprises whose success is established, that thy treasure may earn liberally under their skillful use and be guarded safely by their wisdom and experience. Better a little caution than a great regret. The walls of Babylon. We cannot afford to be without adequate protection. The camel trader of Babylon. What matters hunger? What mattered thirst? They were but incidents on the road to Babylon. Within me surged the soul of a free man going back to conquer his enemies and reward his friends. Where the determination is, the way can be found. The clay tablets from Babylon. And there's nothing much I really found in here. It's just relaying the whole 1/10 thing, and it's They're tablets found in 1934 from, I forgot how long ago, but thousands of years ago. And it talks about a man with his debts and his plans to pay them back, and how he paid them back, and it's a little bit tedious. Okay, on we go. The luckiest man in Babylon. He explained how anxious he had been to earn his freedom. Now that he had enough money to buy this, he was much disturbed as to what he should do. He was no longer making good sales and feared to leave the support of his master. And this man was a slave. My willingness to work enabled me to escape from being sold to join the slave gangs upon the walls. It also so impressed thy grandfather, he selected me for his partner. Thy grandfather enjoyed working. The gods appreciated his efforts and rewarded him liberally. And this is coming from a story of this man that ended up becoming very, very rich, and he used to be a slave. And this gentleman made friends with him when they were both slaves, and he bought his freedom. All right, on we go. A historical sketch of Babylon. At a very early period, when the rest of the world was still hacking at trees with stone-headed axes, or hunting and fighting with flint-pointed spears and arrows, the Babylonians were using axes, spears, and arrows with metal heads. The Babylonians were clever financiers and traders. So far as we know, they were the original inventors of money as a means of exchange, of promissory notes, and written titles to property. I really loved this book. I feel like there's some great phrases and sayings, and I think the thing I like about it the most, though, is that it's told in these wonderful short stories, and it's kind of a classic. I would recommend giving this to like teenagers, or even maybe as young as 10, because once I think you instill these principles, because it doesn't just mention about saving at 10% of your income, which is now kind of a golden rule a lot of people live by. But there's also throughout each story, some level of entrepreneurship that's introduced, right? You could see kind of the slavery that's going on in here very similar to salary jobs, where they can still kind of buy their freedom, like if they put enough away, and they can still earn their own money. It's not like slavery that many people are familiar with in the U.S., right? So really the stories are beautiful, and it's a very short, easy read. It's great for all ages, but definitely great for younger generation. Not saying it doesn't apply to the older generation, but yeah, great, short, sweet book.